Hi, I'm Aaron Achan and I drive the 92 Honda Civic powered by a B16B. Okay, so it's a 92 EG Honda Civic built to the Group 1 specs that we race locally in Trinidad. So I saw some of the other videos where guys got into racing at an early age. I actually started racing in 2014 at the autosport events that used to be held at ERC. Back then, there wasn't a racetrack in Trinidad because the government had taken it back, so any form of motorsport took place at ARC. So I started doing those events under Royal Mahabe. Circuit racing, I would say 2018 I got my feet wet with, no 2017 I got my feet wet with circuit racing. I took 2018 off to build this car and we started shaking it down around May 2019 till today. Alright, so the car is built according to the Group 1 spec for circuit racing. We share those rules with Barbados and some of it with Guyana. Guyana have a few different small changes to the rule book. So it's a stock B16B Honda engine. According to the rule book, we cannot interfere with inside of the engine, so it's bone stock with bolt-ons like the intake system, the exhaust, the gear kit. They allow you to change the final drive, 4th gear and 5th gear. So those are now changed in mine. Suspension wise, I have spherical bearings right around, ASR control arm in the back. Fortunato, I have a driver sponsorship from Fortunato, and I have a shop sponsorship from Haltech that controls the management of the car. So one thing that my team pride ourselves with, this car is always prepared 2 weeks before an event. As soon as one event is complete, we prep the car for the next event, and the car just goes into storage until race day comes. What I love about this car is it was built the way I wanted it to be built. So when I decided to acquire this chassis, I started looking around for a Honda Civic to fit the class. And I found this car for $14,000 by a guy in Superior. Bought it, we stripped the car entirely down to chassis and started from the ground up. With the help of my mechanic, he spec'd everything that we wanted on the car. And then we started procuring and building the car up to where it is today. There is some nervousness from the time you get strapped into the car. Turn 1 is always the most dangerous turn into circuit racing because you're going in to the first corner with all the cars at full speed, everybody on somewhat cold tires, cold brakes. So you're a bit nervous if you're coming out of turn 1 if you're going to have any sort of impact. Once you get started on lap 1, you just go until the end. I would love to run at Thunderhill in the US. It's a very uphill, downhill, high-speed corner track, so I would love to race there. So I actually have competed in drag racing with my Subaru at Camden. I haven't ever done it at Wallerfield, but drag is fun, yeah, but after that 12 to 15 seconds, you're back into the pit. You have to wait in line to get a next run, whereas with circuit, we could drive all day as long as your car is reliable. So that's one thing I love about Group 1 is the cars remain at a stock engine with pump gas. We don't run any exotic fuels and you just drive all day. So sponsorship is a twofold conversation, either driver sponsorship or event sponsorship. And to get event sponsorship, companies want to see a return on investment. And it's not just by advertising alone, but by the crowd. Because let's say I give a sponsor as a lubricant provider, and we go up there and it's 30 people who are already using a certain lubricant. What sort of return on our investment we will be getting? So I think the motorsport organizations, not just Titasa, but all the organizations need to do a lot better marketing, like what you all are doing today with pushing drivers forward. And that will assist with getting sponsors on board. Return on investment is a big thing for sponsors because it's their money they're putting out, and you have to convince them, why should I give motorsport this money and not put 2 billboards up on the highway? I do not think motorsport is a waste of money, but at the same time, persons must prioritize what they need in their life as well, because you can't be making, let's say, $15,000 and you have family to take care of, rent to pay or mortgage to pay, but trying to put all that money into your car. So it all boils down to priorities, but I don't see it as a waste of money because any vice that you have, be it breeding dogs, any other sort of hobbies, you have to invest into it. Okay, so racing this car, I went to Guyana in 2019. I finished 4th in qualifying. I finished the last race in 3rd place. This last event I finished 3rd. That's the last event we had locally, because last year most of the events were just practice events. But this year we are aiming for the championship. We are coming out hard for the Group 1 championship, so hopefully we can win it. So I still consider myself a newcomer to circuit itself, because I did more time attack stuff before, where it was you by yourself on the track. The door-to-door racing it's good and bad, but you need to get your racecraft up to know there's a car next to you. Give him some room. He may not give you room, but just be aware where everybody is. But to newcomers, one of the biggest things is to plan your build properly. Get sound advice from your team or someone you trust, because there is a lot of misinformation out there and you'll end up spending a lot of bad money. If you are passionate for it, go for it as best as you can. So the immediate plan is the Group 1 championship that we're competing in right now. Hopefully we could win that as long as borders open up. This car may get sent to Barbados with the rest of our team. If not, it remains here. I also have a Swift that we race in Barbados, so that was the plan for last year, but because of COVID we couldn't travel anymore. So yeah, that's just about it for this year. If it's within the Caribbean, sure. If it's like in Europe and stuff, I do not think I have that experience just yet to be at that level with those guys. So ask me the question about that 2 years and we'll see where it goes from there. Well, to my fans, friends, supporters, thank you all for your support over the years. I think support from anyone is always encouraging to you as a sportsman. So I really appreciate the support over the years and better things to come. So I would have to say our last event was probably my most memorable locally, in which we went up this Saturday to test a new gearbox, broke the gearbox, came back down the road. The team spent the entire night until 4:30 that Sunday morning to get this gearbox rebuilt. So this was the original gearbox, to qualify 8 o'clock the next morning. Yeah. And we finished 3rd at the event. So firstly, I would like to thank my sponsors and my family. They are the ones behind the support that I have. So Aaron Group of Companies, Guard 61, this build could not be done without you and your assistance at the track. The car is tuned by Tech Point Tuning. Fast Parts Limited, Jerry has been instrumental with getting this car up where it is. Fortunato, Haltech, FC Media 868, this interviews that you all are doing will go a long way for all drivers, everyone in motorsport, to help push the sport forward. That's about it for now.